I'm sick of making vehicles. I want to break some.
Yeah, nice.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, Sean.
You okay?
I'm not too bad, mate. Yeah, not too bad. How are you?
I'm okay.
Good.
I'm okay. So yeah, welcome to another Tuesday evening playing games with Pillbug. So I'm checking tonight. I have brought Hardspace Shipbreaker, which is an early access on Steam.
Yeah.
Which almost immediately I think we both saw this game and was like, this looks really cool.
Yep.
And well, I bought it, and
Good
I
for
think it's kind of
you.
interesting because it's like it's early access. It's like this is this is like some early access game. I've had some crashes, like I've had some issues. I've had to restart the game occasionally because things just stop working.
Okay.
So it might be a rocky one,
Sure.
but it's kind of cool. So I'm just gonna jump in. Like, well, firstly, us thinking about like our early access launch. Like, it's got some nice things which you see early access games doing. Where it's telling us what the latest update is, like when the last update was, and like there's a link to the Discord, all this great stuff. So which is stuff that I want to get, that hopefully we will get into to making a home before we launch.
Yeah, it's interesting. Like, we obviously, we've played a few early access games now, haven't we, on stream?
Yeah.
And what seems to be quite nice is kind of like just a bullet point list. Like, it doesn't have to be a huge amount of content. People don't want that. It may be, I don't know, huge like info dump on the home screen. They just want to know that, the real bare bones of what's happened and where they can find out more information if they do want it.
Yeah.
So that's maybe something to think about as we decide, what to put where.
Yeah, I think it's like it's almost like trying. In a lot of ways, it's like the thing I always say to my students is, when you go for your driving test, like, you waggle the gear stick to make a point that you're checking the car is in neutral.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I still do that. By the
yeah. But so I've got an automatic, so I definitely don't do that. But yes, bad things happen if you waggle
I
an
was going to
automatic.
say you said neutral, which I guess
yeah,
to me
but
that's a
so
automatic kind of.
yeah, and you do it to make a point to the person who's like examining you in the driving test that you're doing it. It's not so much doing it; it's making the point, and I think that's a lot of what this kind of having that. This is our roadmap. Just want to make sure we're not just we're supporting this game.
Yeah, sure.
Which is important.
Cool.
So this is Shipbreaker. You are a shipbreaker, and like we'll explain what a shipbreaker is, and like once we get started. I've just finished the tutorial, and this is my kind of like habitation module.
Nice.
And I can start my ship, but also I've got like I can upgrade equipment and stuff.
So this is your inventory.
Yeah.
That's
So
yeah.
So can I actually?
You appear to be quite a lot in debt.
Yes. So we've kind of got an Animal Crossing situation here, where you're in a huge amount of debt for starting out. I can't. I think the debt was something to do with you. So, just in case you die, you have a clone, and I think that costs a lot of money. But this is like, so you've applied to be a shipbreaker, and in doing so, you have to pay for all this equipment, which puts you in a massive amount of debt. So now you're paying that debt off.
Can we pause? I mean, that's. Yeah. I know it's like a big thing in Animal Crossing, and this has been talked about to death. But do you have any feelings about that as a kind of a opening game mechanic type thing?
I really like it.
Okay.
Can I? What I'm unsure about here. Sorry, like, it's saying cost.
Yeah.
300 out of 200. Does that mean it costs 300, or I have 300? Oh, no, I have 300.
You have 300, I think. The LT. I don't know what that means. Maybe loan, or is it
LT is? Yeah, I don't know.
Could it be a different kind of like learning points?
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, it could be like anyway. So I've spent some. Yeah. I quite like it. Do you not like it?
So I don't have a strong opinion, positive or negative about it. I think it's super interesting, and whether or not it relates to, I don't know, something about you could make some kind of highfalutin academic argument about how gamers are getting older and they're dealing with more and more debt, and students are getting more and more into debt. American students have always been in debt, but UK students getting more and more into debt, and that it's kind of, there's something interesting psyche-wise there going on, that like art imitating life.
Yes, it does feel a bit like me looking at my student loan statements, which come in, and like the amount of interest, the difference between the amount I'm paying off and the interest is not much.
Yeah.
And it's like, this is this colossal amount of money that there's no way I'm ever going to pay off. So I kind of like it because it reminds me of life, like
your own crippling debt. Great.
So okay, so I now get to pick which ship I'm going to break down and salvage. Basically, like it's a dry dock, but in space. It's such a good idea for a game. It's a dry dock, but in space.
Nice.
So which one should I go for here? I've got a mackerel, station hopper, light cargo. Oh, these all look like the same ship. I might try. Let's go for the top one.
The mackerel.
Yeah, let's try this one. Claiming a new ship will clear the salvage bay of your existing ship. Remaining salvage. Okay, so I don't actually have one in the bay, so so I'm gonna try and explain things as I go. Right. So this guy's talking a bit. Just you want to hear it, Dave?
At least there's text.
Yeah.
I know the thought of making 10,000 credits, let alone a billion, sounds impossible right now. But I can assure you it is within your reach, if you put in the work. You got the DNA to be a great salvager one day. Literally. Your report here says your blood work confirmed ideal genetic makeup, physique, intelligence, and psychological profile for the position of shipbreaker. I'm guessing that means Lynx thinks you're less likely to blow yourself up. Let's see if they're on to something. Complete your work order and return here to your hive when you're ready for another ship. And careful with that reactor. One false move and you're a goner.
Right.
And a whole lot of credit.
If Weether will shut up, I can talk about this game. Right. So, this is a ship that we have been tasked to dismantle and salvage. There are a bunch of different places that I can put stuff, which I'll talk about in a minute. But we have a work order here, which is kind of the best way, like the quickest way to get money. Like, you can salvage this whole ship if you're good enough. But you do have a limited amount of time, or limited shift. You have a limited shift and a limited, like, fuel and oxygen and stuff. So the best thing to do to get the most efficient way of getting money is to do this salvaging the reactor, power cell, nanocarbon, and metal.
Do you want to pause as you explain this? Because are you losing time?
Yeah, but it'll be fine.
Okay,
I'm okay. I'm okay. Right. So first thing I can do is I can look at this cool mode. Look at this.
Ooh.
And now I can really see what's going on and where things are. So if you see, there's the reactor at the back here, which I'll eventually need to get to. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to salvage these nacelles. So I'm going to need my saw, so let's go. Whoop, stop here. Is that a point I can? Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, right, so that one's broken off. And then I'm going to break this one off.
Mm-hmm.
So certain points are, like, destructible with your laser.
Yeah.
But not necessarily everything is. Okay, is that off? Okay, yeah. Then what I'm going to do is these things, then, if I mouse over, it says these have to go into the barge. Now, there are a few different places. There's the incinerator. Certain things go in there. There's this thing that I can't remember what it's called. And then there's the barge. And the barge is, like, basically things that still work. So presumably will go into another ship.
Okay.
So I'm going to tether these things together. Oh, I'm supposed to drag. I'm going to do 2 tethers in. Mm-hmm. I'll pull them towards each other, and then I'm going to do this down to here, and then that should pull them nicely into the barge.
Okay.
So feel free, throw questions at me because I might just get into a bit of a zone with this.
No, fair enough. So, like, I mean, other than that interesting view that you showed us earlier, there doesn't seem to be a lot of, like, maybe it's in the tutorial, but even, like, as level 1, you might expect quite a bit more kind of what we've often called big green arrow, as I see you actually flying in front of a big green arrow. But yeah, like saying, like, this is what you need to do first. Go here, do this, touch that.
So the way they do it is with this work order.
Okay, so so you're just filling that list out.
Yeah, but I've kind of what is kind of interesting is that what I'm doing here, this ship class, this class of ship was the tutorial that I just did.
Okay.
So they've kind of have taught you step by step how to salvage a ship like this.
Okay, so
right.
All right. Do you think then there's many? Do you feel like at the moment you've got quite a few options, or are you just going through the motions of something you've already done before?
I do. There are options, yes, okay. But I am kind of going through the motions right now. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to do that. So right. So what have we got here?
Salvage secured.
So now, what I'm thinking is right. So I've got salvage class. I'm going to get the reactor out first. And the reactor, if I look, is at the back here. At the back of the ship, there's the reactor.
Sure.
Now, what if I... Now, one thing about these ships is some of them still have air in.
Oh, okay. Yeah, unlike you, by the looks of it.
Oh, I'm running out of oxygen.
Yeah.
Okay. So some of these ships are full of oxygen.
Yeah.
And if you just cut a hole in it, it'll explode. Because it'll just violently decompress.
Sure. So how many times have you had that happen to you, Sean?
Never.
Ooh.
Is there a... Okay. You've got to buy the oxygen.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and you've got to buy tethers.
So that did that maneuver cost you then? That thing you've been doing?
Yeah. I guess that's gone into my debt, or like, well, you know, I also have made some money, which it's not clear what money I've made so far. There might be a way of seeing it, but so the first thing you need to do is depressurize this ship.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And we're going to do that by using the airlock to depressurize it.
Airlock pressure levels dropping.
Okay, so now this is open. Now we can open the airlock. So
airlock pressure levels increasing.
Right. So we still haven't actually depressurized. Now if you look in the bottom right, you can see I'm in a pressurized environment now.
Yeah.
So what I need to do is find, there it is,
air pressure level decreasing.
That then released all the air pressure.
Okay.
So now we are safe to start ripping the sides off this thing. So there's the cockpit. So we want to find the reactor right in here. Door work. Wonder if now some of these things, some of the, I don't know which ones, but some of them you can actually cut through them with this thing.
Okay.
Yeah, there we go. And there's a way of turning it too, but I can never remember.
It's interesting. It's a really so I don't know. Maybe this is something. I don't know. What I was gonna say, which I don't know, is like it risks saying something stupid, but I'll do it anyway. Is, you know, have you noticed a tendency in indie games, and I think this is a really good way of thinking about, like, if you're keen to design a manageable indie game experience. And the reason I thought about this was because of how much detail is in this little room, right? Of like this thing that, you know, for a good chunk of the game, you were so far just like floating around on the outside. And it wasn't until you actually said, well, I need to, you know, actually get in here and do this, that, and the other, that I thought there might even really be an inside of the the space. And I was thinking, God, that's a lot of effort and a lot of detail that's gone into, like, you know, all the different art assets and things in here that just populate this kind of space. And then I thought, well, actually, like, so I'm just talking you through my thought process. Right?
Yeah.
And then I thought, well, actually, no. What it's doing is really cleverly giving you that sense of there's a lot going on here, but actually, you're really quite restricted in the gameplay area to this relatively small ship, and however many spaces are within that, how many rooms are in that. So it's actually a really restrictive space that gives a really big amount of detail and a really good sense of space. And I know a lot of games have done this, like, you know, before and through the past and all that kind of stuff, but I've started to notice it more myself, not because it hasn't been there, just because I haven't really been thinking about games that way necessarily. As a designer, of thinking, you know, like, you don't have, you know, indie experiences often aren't that kind of open world experience. They are often a very, you know, tight, controlled experience that gives an illusion of something much, much bigger. And this has just seemed like a really good example of that. Like, once you've decided the player is largely just going to be floating around a single ship, then you can be like, well, we want that ship to feel detailed, and we want to populate it with all kinds of things, and we want to, you know, have lots of options available and all that kind of stuff. And all you have to do is remember that you're maintaining that one space and making it feel different each time. But you know, that was a bit of a rambling thought, but it suddenly just made me think, like, this weird kind of flip-flopping between, wow, there's a lot to this game already, and also, wow, there's not a lot to this game already, you know. Just as you're, you know, cutting things up.
So I think, have I got that panel off? I think I do. I'm going to try and... I've not got much left. Oh, my O2 is also now running out a bit.
It does seem quite tight, time-wise.
Yeah. Is this going to get me out?
Although, interestingly, I did notice that because before you depressurized it, your O2 count was obviously not going down because there was oxygen in there.
Make your way back to the kiosk.
Right, I need to get back. Did I actually manage to get out at all there? Oh yeah, you can see there's a bit. It's kind of starting to come off there, right? Wrong button. Could you do a Google for me?
I sure could.
Could you look how to rotate the split saw? What the control is for that?
Rotate split saw.
Right, I'm going to end the shift. Because I was running out of time. Yeah, I earned 300,000 credits. But didn't do anything on the work order.
Okay.
Okay, so can I just continue? Okay, so then I can just now... My equipment all okay? I wonder if it tells me in here, like...
yeah, I mean, partly I'm struggling a little bit because it's, you know, such an...
Yeah,
early...
I'm going to continue this salvage. I'm going to try and see if I can get to it. Control scheme. Right. Tools. Here we go. Swap cutter. Equip cutter. Cutter. Rotate cut angle is left trigger. Right. Gotcha. So. Ah, there we go. That was it. Why didn't I... Of course it's left trigger. Like, what a stupid... Right. So did I managed to cut some things on the bottom. So I wonder if we've got like some things that are loose down here now. This one loose? That one's still connected.
Just give it a little push.
Or a little
Pull.
yeah. Yeah, there it is. It came out. Right, so this one then, it's telling me it goes into the processor, which is down here. And then I've got a little bit of a push, and then I can push that into the processor like that.
Nice.
Which feels very good. Now, is this one
I bet
loose?
that does. Yeah.
Yeah, I managed to cut that one off as well. So look at this. Now I've got the floor out. You know.
You're cooking on gas.
Yeah, we're cooking on gas for sure. Right. So can I get... So now the seat. What's that? Barge. Okay, so that goes to the barge, which is down here. Which...
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Probably shouldn't necessarily be wasting my time on seats and stuff, but...
Salvage
Let's get to this. Let's stop messing around with seats. Let's get the...
You want the reactor.
On the
big money
reactor.
item.
Yeah. So, because now I can get seed down here. I can pull out... I can get my laser into here. And get these 2 cut points. Oh,
This is a fascinating game in many respects, isn't it?
It's so good.
It's like...
Oh, look at that. There, that
concept.
off it goes. Right, so where does that need to go? The processor. So let's get my grapple. Why did you think... What was it like?
But just the sudden thought that, like... I mean, it taps into something that a lot of people love doing, which is just taking something apart. I mean, often it's to put it back together, but
Yeah.
the idea of this game is you're just taking something apart
Yeah.
in what you're trying to do in an efficient way as possible.
deposited.
Right, here we go. This is the mother load. Oh, hang on. There's 2 reactors. Oh, I didn't know about this. Okay, that changes
Double
things.
the money.
Well, reactors are dangerous. Like that's
That makes some sense. Yes.
you know, like that. Right, Stinger. Let's take this. And you have to be kind of a bit careful. What's this game looks so good, doesn't it? Like
Yeah, it is. It's lovely. A lot of great parts. I mean, you'd need good particle effects for this kind of game, right? Like,
Yeah.
If you decide you're going to put it as anything remotely realistic.
okay, I've got the reactor. It's where it gets kind of.
You went for that quite quickly. That's pretty impressive.
Got it.
Certification goal completed. Additional goals.
Power cell, right. So, I've already started grabbing some nanocarbon, so that's just like generally walls and stuff, I'm guessing.
Uh-huh.
There's another reactor there. How do I get to this one? Can I cut this? Some of the... No, it's not giving me... okay, that's good. So it only allows you to... It tells you when you... So when you're on materials that you can cut with this thing, it actually shows you the line.
Okay, nice.
Which I think is quite nice. So, like, I just want to show you this because it's so fucking cool. Flipping cool, sorry. But look at that. How awesome. Like, so where does that go? That goes in the processor.
Oh,
So
that is sweet.
where's the processor? And then I need some oxygen. What am I doing for shift time?
Warning. Oxygen reserves are low. Processing valuable.
Where is your shift time?
Credits awarded.
That's what I was trying to wonder. Is it in the top right? There's like the 9-minute.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Is that
makes
it?
sense. Yeah, that's a clock that's going down, isn't it?
Yeah. I want to know where this power cell is.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
So that's what I need next is this power cell. I think. It's got a real kind of Western vibe. Like there is a story and everything. Like, or like at least there's lore to this. It's really they only really show you at the beginning. Right. I want to know what's a power cell.
I guess they've given you a bit of a sense of that, even from what you've shown me tonight about the idea that you are that much in debt and you're starting off in your career, and
Yeah.
you know that makes sense.
And that's a power cell. That's.
I mean, they're just a lot of grain boxes at the moment. But...
Yeah. Is that a power? No.
Salvage secured. Account credit applied.
Power junction box. That was.
Should have known that right from the start. I mean, that was so obvious that was a power junction box.
Yeah. Like.
Salvage secured.
What?
Credits deposited.
I don't know what this is. Oh, data drive.
Ooh.
That says I've just collected that. That was data. That's a processor.
Sounds like the kind of thing you'd find story on.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Where's his power cell? That's a repair kit. If you were a power cell, where would you be? Well, like I feel like is that a power cell in there? Oh.
I would have thought near the
You would, yeah.
nearer the reactors than the cockpit.
Let's try and go in this bit in between out here. There's something in here, but that could well be the oxygen. Okay, let's cut this open. Can I cut this open? No. Oh, that's stuck in there. How do I get in there then? Oh, I do this. This just feels so cool.
It does look bad.
Okay, that went the wrong way, but I pull that out. It's a bit awkward here. Come on, you go out there. So now I'm in here. Is that a power? What's that?
Fuel tank.
Fuel tank. Well, fuel tank's probably like
I mean, that's got to
explosive.
be good. That's got to be valuable.
That go to the barge? Oh, that's a fuel
Salvage
tank.
secured. Account credit applied.
So what's a power cell then? Maybe it's this. I'm gonna try and get this thing at the back here out.
Sure.
See what this is all about. Right. You should have a listen to the music. Like,
Oh, is it a good soundtrack?
yeah, it is a really good. How the heck do we get that out?
Do you think that's the core question of this game? Is how do you get this out?
Yeah. So, I wonder if I can. Can I? Oh, I can cut this. Right. Can I cut this? What can I cut here? I'm gonna cut. The controls are pretty good, but like you have a lot of freedom, so it's like what was that?
Destroyed. Please refrain from damaging salvage.
Oh, you destroyed something.
Yeah.
5 minutes left in this
Is it
shift.
because you cut whatever that method thing was?
No, it's something fell into the wrong place, is what that means.
Oh, okay.
So is this thing is right? This needs to go in the processor, because yeah, basically you need to kind of put things where they're meant to go. Where's the processor? Is there? I'm going to tether this in. Oh. That should pull in. Okay, that goes to the barge. It does do a good job of trying to help you out with, like,
Salvage deposit accepted.
where things go.
Transfer.
Like, I think they know that this is, like, obviously very complicated. Like, how do I get this? Is this already...
Yeah, from a design point of view, like, it's funny, isn't it? Because there's only 3 places to put stuff, but
Your
that's
oxygen
still
reserves are
enough,
low.
right? Like, if it
Note
was...
that excess carbon dioxide
I
may
understand,
cause
like,
damage to
one
link's
place,
equipment.
okay, everything just goes there and it gets boring. 2 places, yeah, 50-50. 3 places, suddenly it's actually, like you said, there's a degree of complexity there to something that would otherwise be quite straightforward.
Yeah, and it's like... Should I end? I've got 3 minutes. Do I just end the shift? And I don't think I can do much in 3 minutes. I want to know what this power cell, where this power cell is. This is going to be the, this is the kind of, this ship is the like, we're just figuring out, right?
So you earned, wow, you earned a lot of money then.
Did I?
Or at least yeah.
700.
700,000, yeah.
Yeah. So my new debt is that. Hang on, wait a second. No. I made 100. I'm a total. That's the total there. The red is how much it's cost me. Right. This is the daily fees of the pleasure of having this job. My resurrection fee. I didn't die. Interest 0.01, 99,000. Bay lease. Bay transportation fees. Cutter rental. Grapple rental. Hab utilities. Helmet rental.
So how can you be nearly a mil? Sorry.
Well, that's kind of like your starting costs, I guess.
Yeah, but like you haven't even bought all this stuff. You're renting it.
Yeah.
Wow.
What do we own in life, though, Dave? What do we own?
Well, you own nothing but debt here, by the sounds of it. At least you know when you take. At least in some walks of life, you get into debt because you then own things.
I don't really quite fully understand what all these are, but I'm going to go for it. I wonder if my scanner... That's it. Okay, so, right. I don't currently have an upgrade to tell me what... If I had a better scanner, it would probably be telling me where this fuel thing is.
Okay. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Right, so power cell. Oh, I'm running out of fuel. Oh man, I gotta buy fuel as well. Oh, wrong button. Can I not?
When do you think a game becomes too much like a job?
I don't know. Like, can I not use this? Oh, apparently I can't use it yet. I don't know why it's not letting me. Why is that not letting me? I suppose it's just early access, right? Like, was I meant to buy fuel at some other point?
Okay. Yeah. Ooh, okay.
What were you going to say?
So you're back working on another macro.
It's the same one.
Oh, the same macro. So you started your shift again on the same salvage. Okay, yeah.
What's this? This is... I'm going to just try and take this whole thing apart, go into the crawl space and get rid of all of... Because I'm wondering if, like... If I take everything off, I can maybe get into this at the back here.
That makes sense. And one of your other work order things is the nanocarbon, which is just a pure weightage by the looks of it.
Yeah.
So.
Can I just use the split saw on this? Yeah, I can. Why the heck wouldn't you just do that? How, like, that looks so much cooler.
It takes a little bit of extra finesse, though, doesn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, it does, to be fair.
Good evening, Frozen.
Hi, Frozen. Can I fit through this crawl space? Yeah.
And I should say on camera as well, I've been chatting, just saying hello to Stephen from... wasn't last week's It wasn't the week before, but maybe the week before that when I played Orcashin.
Yeah.
That's when we first met Steven and chatted to him about his game we played on stream. Thanks for stopping by again. Seeing what we're doing. How's things going in Pillbug Land, Sean?
How are things going? Ask me, like, you explain. I'm like deep in some dangerous, like, whatever this thing is. I'm trying to salvage. Like,
could be a power cell, but it's not. It's a coolant tank.
Yeah.
Okay, how are things? Good. We are careening towards early access. We're both really excited for players to get their hands on the new early access version of Making It Home, or the early access version of Making It Home. Come August the 6th. We're still on target for that.
Oh yeah. I think we're I would say almost say no, it's a bad thing to say ahead of target, but it feels like we are
ahead of target. Ooh. So that's going to be good.
Yes, I'm really excited about. Like, we've been doing a lot of kind of juiciness.
Yes, Sean has been juicing.
Oh no. Okay, things went bad there.
Oh wow. Okay.
Oh, look at all.
Oh, nice.
Okay. Right, I need to get out of here. Yeah, you should. So when the radio malfunctions, like, just random music starts playing.
Oh, nice.
I need to get fuel. I need to get out of here. Like, this went south.
Pete,
can I just want to kind of get the front of this off. Like, I feel like, where are the points? Right, so I split those ones on the right. Now these ones on the left. Maybe I need no. Oh, there's another one. There's the one I missed.
This isn't something that I've said actually to you, Sean, like in our conversations about early access, but I've been deliberately not showing too much of what we've done.
Yes.
In our kind of tweets, because we do obviously promotional tweets for the game, as any game developer does. And I've been deliberately trying to keep them free of early access stuff too much, because I want people, you know, like your good self Frozen and others who have played the beta, to kind of have a few surprises and a few things to discover about what we're doing. So, yeah, in the run up to the early access, and then the last few weeks before we launch, there's going to be very little in the way of kind of spoilers, I hope. But as soon as we end, as soon as like our community can get to grips with the game, there's going to be a lot of stuff to kind of share with people who might not have seen it.
Because like I've been thinking about that. Is like some of the cool. I'm really like we've added some like really cool stuff, but it's like, don't we want to spoil that? Like that should be a surprise, and that's kind of one of the reasons that we stopped the beta, was so that people would get that.
Yeah.
How come I can't?
Oxygen reserves are low.
There's a very
asphyxiation can lead to missed salvage quotas.
Frozen says, never underestimate the craziness of your player base. I assume he means our player base as well as maybe the Shipbreaker player base.
Oxygen levels stabilizing.
Right, I got 9 minutes. Okay, we're good.
Have a nice day.
And I just pulled off a massive chunk of the front there, which I'm quite happy about. I want to know where this fuel cell is. Yeah, pretty intense point there. So, like, what were you saying?
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah, you handled that very well. You didn't even swear, I don't think. Yeah, it's an interesting kind of balancing act for developers. You know, obviously marketing is a huge part of the biz. And you know, you do want to show people enough for them to get excited about, but then, you know, you've got your community who have seen a lot more of the game than your average kind of Twitter browser, and you want to make sure that they're not that you take into account what might be good for them, as well as people who are seeing your game for the first time.
Because like I was thinking, oh, maybe we should just stream, and then I thought, no, like stream Making It Home, I mean, and I was like, no, actually, at some point we probably, I don't know if we should, maybe like before the week of launch, maybe, I don't know, but even then I'm like, I don't want to do that because I want like everyone that's played it to be the people who I want them to experience it through playing it, not watching us playing it.
Yeah, I think so. I think it wouldn't. There would absolutely be no. I would be totally fine with streaming. You know, the week after we launch early access, so that the people who really want to kind of play the game and experience it for themselves can do that, and you know, and then maybe see us play it a little bit. I mean, there is fortunately enough new stuff that I think even, you know, us playing it for an hour and a half, 2 hours on stream, you know, you're not going to see all the new stuff that we added, of course, you know, but you'll see enough that it would be nice for people to experience it first.
Yeah.
On their own, but
we need to send out more keys to streamers, don't we?
That's going to be part of our job between now and early access for sure. And you know, we'll be hitting up those streamers who have streamed the beta version to see if they're interested in checking out what's new. You know, obviously.
Oh, is that a power cell? No. What's that? Fuel tank. I should probably be careful with this.
Oh yeah. He says, just like slapping a laser next to him.
Well, lasers are pretty accurate.
True.
Right, have we got any more?
Pretty accurate though?
Yeah.
Different question.
But like, what I love is like this going into the crawl space. Power cell, right? Okay, here we go. There's a power cell, right? So, I need one of these. But yeah, it's like, can you imagine? Like, because this is a real job, right? Like, shipbreaking. What was that beep?
I don't know. Oh, was it the temperature of your cutter?
Oh yeah, it might have been. Right.
Everything else seems kind of fine.
Yeah, yeah. This game's great.
So do you find yourself drawn to games that are actually simulations of jobs, Sean? Because you've brought quite a few of those to streams.
Yes, I think so. I don't know. Like, oh, cool. We've gone. Like, I was wondering. Hang on. Right, that needs to go in the processor. Where's the processor gone?
Frozen thinks that's the case.
What? That
you are basically drawn to simulation games that simulate real jobs.
Mm-hmm. But what I love about this is this is like the meta of that, right? Because this is like imagining.
All right, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift before they.
Like it's like a real job, but you know, this is the sci-fi version of it, you know.
Yeah.
Which I think is really cool.
Did you time that so that did you know that thumbs up was going to come up as soon as you said really cool?
No, I mean yes. Can't get this out.
Yeah, as Frozen says, like the thing that you're doing has to be enjoyable, right? Like, but that's an interesting thing. Like driving a truck, navigating a sub, and then deconstructing a wreck, as the examples that Frozen used.
Yeah. Is this thing loose?
Is driving a truck
Yes.
Is it enjoyable? Like, would you be a truck driver, Sean?
No.
Warning.
So
Oxygen reserves are dropping below statistically
okay.
profitable levels.
What's the
But
where's the difference there? Why
because like it's because you get to do the bit of the truck driving that's fun, which is just like on the open road. Not all the kind of like delivering shit.
I don't remember a lot of open road from your truck driving experience.
Oh, but that like I don't know. I can't explain. Like,
I know these are tough questions I'm hitting you with.
It's like, why did I like Death Stranding? I love Death Stranding, and like because it was it's stupid. Like it's a Deliveroo game. Like you're literally a Deliveroo driver. Do you know what? I don't think you could play it now. Like it's so. it's weird how the first 2 or 3 weeks of lockdown were just like being in Death Stranding. It's just crazy.
You are even more in debt.
I'm even more in debt. How is this working? I thought I did well.
You are not doing well.
Okay, right. So, okay. Is it 'cause I've not done my quota? I don't know what that quota thing on the right there is. Right. Some of my things. My laser cutter is low durability. I should probably repair it.
Oh, good. That thing you're renting for various amounts of money.
Then I have to pay to upgrade.
Wow.
Hey, you know, like, they got to get their money.
Everyone's getting their money other than you, Sean, by the looks of it.
I'm just thankful for the work.
But what? But why? You're like losing money.
Hey, on my contract, I signed an agreement that I wouldn't think about unions and I wouldn't talk about this kind of stuff. That was the first thing you had to do. The contract signing in the start of this game is really good.
Nice.
Right. Okay. So we're on. Let's go to some other. And should we go over mackerel again? I think I've only got. Oh, no, they're all mackerels here.
They're all macros. They're slightly different designs.
Yeah. So what is the difference here? So it's the value. So the mass is different. It's the resources that's in there. So.
I guess there's some benefit to the fact that you now know your way around a mackerel.
Yeah, I think so. So which one should we go for?
Should be quicker.
Yeah. Should we have the second one down? 2 days?
Sure.
Yeah. Like, I'm not sure what.
I mean, in terms of work simulators, this is less like.
This here's another map.
Less blue collar than Frozen was talking about balance sheets, and I remember what was the car factory game that you brought? Production line?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean that had balance sheets and graphs and stuff like that, and you were like a pig in muck on that one. You were
yeah.
in your element. Because one of the games I've played in my time, and you've played it too actually, and you're going to tell us loads of stories. Well, actually, I'm going to stop you telling us stories because you always tell the same stories about EVE Online.
Yeah.
That's a game people like have said, some more famously than others, that it feels like this is just a game that's a day job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess part of the reason that people have that response and that experience is that it's like the constantly online environment that makes you feel like you have to punch in, whereas this is obviously offline, so it's not like the press. Like if you just want to walk away from this game, you can do that and not feel like there are any consequences.
Yeah, there's no one going to be telling you weren't at your you weren't guarding whatever you were meant to guard it.
Yes. So like I get that that's an important difference, but at the same time, like it is kind of funny the number of games you've brought that, and I like it because I think it talks to how games don't have to be about killing stuff all the time, right? Or even defeating things. Like you're not defeating this ship. You're just doing a job on it.
Yeah. This is basically like a recycling. This is like, I'm recycling.
Yeah.
Positive message.
I mean, at the moment it's costing you money.
Yeah.
So that's an interesting message about recycling. But the fact that you could be making money.
Yeah. This is more like the poor person who actually has to sort out the recycling you put in the bag,
Yeah, I mean, those people do a sterling job.
Yeah, yeah.
So, before you depressurize this, is there anything you can do inside whilst it's giving you free oxygen?
I could. Well, I suppose so. Yeah, I suppose. Oh, dangerous stuff. But I see what you mean. Like,
well, don't if it's dangerous. Like, obviously.
Well, let's see what happens.
Anything, right?
Oh no, I can't do that. I cannot
can't
start
cut
opening.
this.
No, okay. No, Dave.
So that's a hard no. I was just checking, like, is there?
I wonder if.
anything-
Well, I suppose if I was to. It's a very good point because I could get this reactor ready to go, right?
Could you? What could you
Oh
do?
boy, I could. Oh man. Do I want to
And
do that?
Will it move when you depressurize?
What's gonna? I can't. Ooh. Kind of want to try.
Don't cut her though. Oh my god, I thought you couldn't cut her.
You can cut her, yeah, but like
Oh.
if it goes to the outside, fuck. Shit. Okay, right, yeah. It depressurized. Where'd the reactor go? There, it's over there. Okay, right. Oh shit. Oh
So
no.
That's on me. That's on me. I'm happy to accept responsibility for at least some of that. Ooh, nice.
Okay. Come on, back you come. Back you come. Oh boy, I wasn't expecting that. Okay, that's going a bit too close to the... Oh no!
I'm sure it bounced. Like
Yeah, but-
reactors bounce.
Oh boy. Oh man. That kind of didn't go as badly as I expected that to... Right. Right, now we're in... There we go. Easy.
Additional goals remain.
Release tethers. Oh.
Okay. So yeah, let's not do that again.
Yeah, let's not do that again. Right, processor.
But,
Let's
you
put
know,
this in a
We
processor.
learned something.
We learned something. And actually, do you know what? That's like that was quick. I would say, that's efficient.
Time efficient. But I imagine your equipment took a pounding because of that.
Well, I had to go and go and collect that thing. So that took some time. Have we actually? So now I guess this is.
Object processed.
You
Oh,
were
yeah.
also in an explosion, and your helmet's got a crack in it.
Oh
I
yeah,
don't know if
that
you noticed
yeah. No, I just noticed that. Also, interestingly, not everything is depressurized
Ooh.
because there's compartments. Like so now, this is depressurized,
Yeah.
but there's still these crawl spaces. You remember I went in?
Yeah.
They're all pressurized still.
Okay.
So I still need to go to the atmospheric control. Can I use this anymore? Okay, air pressure level
Air pressure
decreasing.
level decreasing.
Power cell. We know where the power cell is, don't we? Oh, my oxygen. Should probably go fill my oxygen up, shouldn't I?
It never seems like a bad move.
Yeah. So it can be a bit disorientating, but I've got used to it now.
Well, that kind of makes sense, doesn't it?
What?
Like, you're just floating around in space. It should be disorientating.
Yeah, but look out there. I love that's like this idea that these are all barges doing the same thing. Like, there's a really at the start of the game. There's a whole song that about.
They're like the Lego song.
Oxygen reserves are low.
No, not at all. But all to do with this shipbreakers and what have you. Right. It's really.
I don't. Sorry, Sean. Like, you make it sound as if everyone knows the Shipbreaker song. Like, that's a thing everyone
Oxygen
knows.
level stabilizing.
So you'll have to maybe
Well, no. It's about this profession. About
Yeah.
this profession of being a shipbreaker.
And there's a song for it. Like
There was a
like
song-
sea shanty.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they wrote one which I think is kind of cool.
That is super cool.
Kind of want to just start cutting. I wonder if I can some stuff you can just cut without. Oh. Okay, there's a couple of. I wonder if we do here. Is this?
Do you think people who are really good at this would approach this like a master sushi chef does, and they just go, and then suddenly the ship kind of falls apart. Do you think you can be that good at this game?
I hope so. I would hope. Yeah, I think so. Like,
That'd be kind of cool.
well, you would know. Like you kind of hit the nail on the head. Is like we're getting to know this ship design, aren't we?
Yeah.
Salvage
So this
secured.
I can
Account credit
cut.
applied.
So if I use
There's
my
like-
split store,
It's like 3 bolts that if you cut them, the whole thing falls apart.
this will never ever get old. Is this released now? Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Right. That's heavy though. What is this? So,
It says it's aluminium. Oh no, maybe not. Depends what you were looking at.
yeah. Or was it just still cut? It's still attached.
It looks a bit attached.
It does look a little bit attached. Is that unattached now?
Does it need? Bit of a push.
Yeah. Let's all stand around for a bit and talk about it.
I think you need a Phillips head screwdriver there, buddy.
Yeah. Where's it go? Well, I think if we take some other stuff off, that will come off then eventually, right? That'll just like pop off.
I'd love it. This is the last thing left of the ship.
Yes. How do they do, like, how do they actually do shipbreaking in, like, massive tankers, kind of? It must be such a dangerous job, right?
Yeah, I would have thought so, because I guess that one of the things like the benefit of what you're doing is that, you know, the low gravity means you don't have to worry about stuff falling on you.
No, but you do have to worry about, like, the cold nothingness of space.
Of space, true.
Yeah,
True.
like,
Yeah, shipbuilders don't
and
have to deal with that.
decompression. Oh, why is this on fire? What the hell?
Things.
Okay.
I mean, I guess shipbuilders still have to deal with things on fire and things exploding. Shipbreakers.
Is that a thing? Are they called shipbreakers?
No, I'm gonna Google it because I don't know. This is.
There's a place, isn't there? Where there's a really famous one where like pretty much all those big tankers go to get broke.
Shipbreaking. Okay, it's got a Wikipedia page, which you know means it's a real thing.
Is there a TED talk?
That's a good question. Okay, modern ships have a lifespan of 25 to 30 years before corrosion, metal fatigue, and lack of parts render them uneconomical to operate. So that's interesting. I suppose 25 to 30 years is, that's not a bad lifespan. But I suppose that for a massive ship, that's a lot of investment and a lot of materials to then only last 25 to 30 years.
Yeah, 20. I suppose. Yeah.
I mean,
Well-
you think 25 to 30 years of your car, you'd be pretty happy with that, right?
Yes.
But then like an oil tanker, maybe.
Yeah. Oh god.
Electrical damage.
Okay.
Ugh.
Salvage deposit accepted. Credits transferred.
Okay. It's labor intensive and considered one of the world's most dangerous industries. There you
Right.
go. This is a good one. I mean, these are all from Wikipedia, so take these with a pinch of salt. But in 2012, roughly 1,250 ocean ships were broken down.
Yeah.
And their average age was 26 years old.
26. Yeah.
So they lasted 26. So yeah.
Warning. Your oxygen
The world
reserves are
total of
dropping below
demolished ships in
statistically profitable
2013
levels.
amounted to 29 million tons. 92% of which were demolished in Asia.
Yeah.
There you go.
There's somewhere where there's the big one, isn't there? Like that is on like all they use for like sets in films and stuff all the time. Right. Credits earned 700,000. There we go. Our debt is decreasing, Dave.
You did
The
it,
American
Sean.
dream.
You did it. You're learning. Yay.
Can I upgrade my scanner? No. Oh yes, I can. Yay! Okay, right. So now, continue salvage. A lot of people saying they're not a big fan of this shift mechanic. Not sure what I think about it yet.
The shift, in the sense that you've only got a limited amount of time to do the job.
Yes, but then you have to come back. I kind of get it. So you've got like 15 minutes and then you're back. You come back.
Do you think? I mean, so yeah, because you've got like your limiting factors are oxygen, time, and fuel.
Yeah.
Do you feel that's like one system too far, or is it the very fact that it's timed?
I don't know. Like I'm on. I don't really. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't got much of an opinion right at the moment. So now I upgraded my scanner. I can actually now see. Can I find this fuel cell? There's a power cell. So is that what I was looking for? Power cell, right? Yeah, power cell. So I know now it's behind here, which is a different place than where it was the last time.
Sure.
So can I just cut this?
So that's one thing, though, isn't it? Like almost in argument for the shift system is that you got an upgrade because you had to go in to have a new shift.
Yeah. 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 So things have changed.
And you know, maybe real life shipbreaking is done in shifts. I mean, it makes a kind of sense, right?
Yeah. This is furnace. Okay. You go out there. Where's the furnace gone? Oh. Oh, now I'm completely disorientated. Which side was it? That side. Okay, there we go.
Or be the one missing the thing you've just cut out.
I just love kind of crawling through these little like these crawl spaces. I bet this is kind of. Oh no. Steady.
Yeah. Kaboom!
Steady, steady, steady. Ooh. Okay, there we go. Easy. Right, what are we looking for now? Metal and...
Salvage secured.
Let's just rip this thing apart then, shall we?
Get rid of everything.
Let's go down this crawl space and just annihilate these. So do you play like what? So you were saying about like these kind of job simulator type games.
Yeah.
Like, other than EVE Online, is this like something you really thought about before? You saw me playing so many of them.
No, I mean for me, games are escapism. So
Yeah.
I don't feel the need to escape into another person's day job.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, don't get me wrong, some day jobs are more exciting than others. Get it. But I think, yeah, I tend to be a bit more of the classic escapist gamer. So yeah, I think that's why simulation games don't quite appeal to me in the same way that they appeal to you.
Yeah.
But having said that, I do appreciate different experiences, and I actually found like Euro Truck Simulator quite fun, more so than what was the truck? Snowpiercer, Snow Runner.
Yeah.
It's not Snowpiercer. That's the TV/movie.
Yeah, I think it is SnowRunner. I think
SnowRunner.
Yeah.
SnowRunner just seemed like a bit too much of a ball ache for me.
Yeah.
Whereas, just trucking down the M25 worrying if I'm gonna get to the place on time, or
Yeah.
what country music I was gonna listen to. That kind of like feels a bit more my speed of simulation.
Yeah. I wonder if this whole side should be kind of coming off right now. Like, I feel like I've got rid of all the connections. Oh, there's some at the back. Front.
But having said that, we were talking about, I know we talk a lot about making it home, which is good because it's our next game, but we also talk about like maybe what comes next. And we were talking about a simulation game being like, because you play so many of them on stream, like why? And I suppose you did one with intelligent design, so would it make sense to go back to that space?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe. It's weird, isn't it? Like, it's weird about like, do you make games that you like playing?
Oxygen levels stabilized.
A lot of people like seem to suggest that in a lot of their talks, right? They're like, GDC talks and stuff. They're like, we just love playing RTSs, so we made an RTS. And you can kind of make sense.
I never really see it like that. I suppose I'm kind of interested in game, but then, I don't know. I'm just interested in games in general, like how upset, like not obsessed is the wrong word, but like the amount of research I've done into like platforming games because we happen to have platforming.
Yes.
In this, and I love it. Like, and in a lot of ways, it was an excuse to just make a. Like, I remember saying, like, originally we wouldn't be able to do certain things because we couldn't possibly make a platforming game.
Yeah.
And we totally done that. Right, now this has got to be a bit of a. I can hear. Ah, here we go. Look at this. But this is just so satisfying. Like, and there's a button to push your hand out to.
Evening, Dave Soft. Dave Soft says, "No man's recycling."
Yeah.
Nice.
Right.
No Man's Sky.
So, these guys now are, in theory, disconnected. So this needs to go in the. Is they all processor? Oh, maybe. So I'm gonna try something.
That's a bit of a risk, isn't it? If you're trying to do too much at once.
Yeah. Let's tether these together.
It's costing you some money in tethers, though, right?
Yeah. God. Right.
Everything's got a cost, Sean.
And then see what happens. Look at this. Is going to be so cool. Watch. Oh no, breaking.
Oh, one thing's not quite.
Oh no, that's the wrong thing.
Can you recall a tether?
Object accepted for processing.
Oh no.
Credits deposited.
Oh, this has all gone wrong. You can basically tell your tethers to. Oh man. Oh well. Bye.
Bye. So whose house in the South Pacific does that fall on then, Sean?
Yeah, it'll burn up. It's pretty small. Like, come on.
True.
Caution. Tether supplies.
I mean, it was kind of a neat idea. I'll give you that. It was ambitious.
The actual. Here we go. Now we're doing it. Watch this.
Is it just because of the sheer weight of that?
Yeah, it is. Like, but it's kind of knocked it in the direction. So
Valuable objects processed. Credits awarded.
there's like a thing that the like intro movie is like some guy just tethering a bunch of stuff all in one go, and he's just kind of watching them all go in one by one, and it's just
I imagine it's balletic. Is it because your tethers just aren't good enough? Can you upgrade your tethers?
Yeah. See, I could break this into smaller pieces.
Sure.
Probably. But like, who's got time for that?
Time is money, friend.
Yeah. Oh, so now can I do this fuel? Where does that go? Barge, okay.
So your work order is only
Processing valuable objects.
metal left.
Credits
Yeah.
awarded.
Did I get that in? Okay, so that's metal, right? So let's...
Alright, Cutter, you got 5 minutes left of this shift.
And it is a lot of... I wonder if, like, part of it is, like, to give you extra things to, like, keep track of. Because I'm having to really kind of think, right, how long have I got left of my oxygen? How much fuel have I got?
Mm-hmm.
You know, all these things. How much time on my shift? But does that feel like busy work to some people, right? I mean, it is busy work. That literally is what it is, right?
Well, I don't know. I don't think it is. Because they're like, okay, you have to accept this is a simulation, okay, of something that doesn't quite exist. But you know, whatever. It's a simulation. So.
Oh no 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 no! Ah, no!
Warning, tethers depleted.
Oh yes. Okay, no, we're okay. We're okay. We're okay. Come on, go in there. Sorry.
That's okay. That's okay. Like if it's a bit like, you know, like when we were playing Production Line or Factorio or whatever. If you're like, oh, I don't like that there's 4 systems for, you know, building materials or whatever, then you're playing the wrong kind of game. Like if you don't like that there are, you know, a certain number of restrictions to carving this kind of thing up, then you should play something that's got more of an open, kind of sandboxy approach to
Yeah.
it. This is trying to simulate a career,
Yeah.
not be like, here's some building blocks, you can cut them up.
So, kind of on that note, there's a free play mode,
Well, okay, well, there we go.
which I think maybe we should have a look at. I haven't looked at it because what I'm really excited about is like how big do these ships get?
Well, I mean, they're never going to let you loose on anything bigger. Look, I mean, you've gone back.
Oh
into,
no, I'm
like,
back into. Yeah, this isn't going well.
I mean, you've
No, but
always
this
been
is what
in
I'm the
debt.
perfect employee, right? Because that's what they want, presumably. They always want you in debt.
Wow. I mean, that's a thing. That's a whole big thing.
Right. Do we want to here? So here are all the ships. We were doing macro. So let's do a different type of ship. Commercial or industrial? What do you fancy?
I mean, they don't. I would have said like industrial is bigger, but maybe they're not. The commercial look, they kind of.
The commercial look a bit. Should we do the commercial? What were we doing before? We were doing like civilian cargo, civilian transit. Let's do Gecko commercial.
As Dave Soft said, I don't know if you played Space Engineers.
No, but I've seen it. I've seen it a lot.
He suggests it suffers from a kind of a "what am I" syndrome, whereas this is, you know, and suggests other games pick up Premise and doing it well is, you know, like more important. And I think this seems to have like, I mean, you said there's a story, great, but this seems to have, you know, picked a lane and stuck to it quite well.
Yeah, look at this. Now, this is.
And in some ways, I think that kind of ties into what I was saying, or rambling about earlier, was about kind of that tightness of an indie game experience, because, you know, okay, the ships get bigger, but you know, this is the entire play space, right? Like, this is it.
So I think I need to approach this a bit differently. I think I need to depressurize the ship before I can do anything. So where's the airlock? Also, I don't think my O2 or fuel is going down.
No, and your shift time is only going up, so maybe that's
so it's like almost like probably a timer.
Yeah, so you can try and do it as quickly as possible.
That's cool. Like, but then does this ruin it? Now, if I go back to play the single player, like, because I've got to this ship before I should have got. Oh, look how cool this looks.
So that's that. Yeah, you're seeing that's something we're grappling with in early access in some ways. Is like how does it feel to see content that you wouldn't otherwise see in the main campaign in your free play mode?
Yeah.
You know, fair enough. I think that's a tough question.
Pressure level increasing.
I guess do you trust the players? Do you trust the players to say, well, if you don't want to see content ahead of time, don't do the free play mode?
Yeah.
That's one
Right.
way of thinking.
Oh,
about
there's
it,
this game is so well, like it's so well made. Like it's just the atmosphere. Like you can't hear the sounds, but like when you come in and the sound changes because now I'm in air. And the feeling of like this ship. Look at this ship. This is like a plane.
It
Right.
is, yeah. Well, I guess that's what they mean by commercial, then. Isn't
Yeah.
it?
Now, so what do I do? Do I start going from the inside out, or do I go outside in?
I feel like that's some kind of weird philosophical question.
No, I can't get to any points from in here. Let's have a look around.
Frozen points out that the movement looks really top notch. And you've said the feel of it is it's hard to get to grips with, but in a good way.
Yeah. I feel like I'm getting better. Okay, here we go. I'm in the crawl space now, so yes. Yeah, it's very good. It reminds me of Outer Wilds and the movement in that, which took a while to get used to, but once you get used to it, like well, hopefully you could see from my flawless playing tonight that like
amazing.
yeah.
I mean, the skill ceiling is pretty high.
So I think I'm on this is the outer hull here. I think I'm cutting away at the outer hull. Luckily, there's like what I like. I think all games that have this style of controls need to have a button that's like, right, stop all my motion. Which is what this has. We have it in Cyber 28 has it as well. There's like a button you can break and it will just stop your. I'm not sure everyone realised that they could do that, but there is a break? No, does Cyber 28 not have that?
No, Cyber 28.
No, I'm thinking of another game I made. No, okay.
That's the thing everyone wants.
Yeah.
Never let them. So, yeah, I was saying something about free play modes. Yeah.
What
so,
are we
I mean,
thinking?
it's interesting, about how do you feel about the fact that you're getting to do this without a sense of crippling debt or time?
I'm enjoying it.
Yeah. Okay. More or less, or the same.
Probably the same. Oh, look. Okay, hang on. What's going on here? Right. What have we got here? Processor. That needs to go to the barge. That needs to go to the furnace. I'm going to split this up a little bit. Oh no, I need to pull this off. I don't know.
Yeah.
It's weird, isn't it? I suppose the problem, it's a really difficult thing because it's like once you've destroyed the ship, you'd have to be motivated to be able to come back and think, right, how can I do this quicker?
Sure.
In a lot of ways, then it almost becomes more like Cyber 28. In that the game, like Cyber 28, the game doesn't necessarily change, does it? It's about getting better.
Yeah.
Right, so this is all processor, this is the furnace.
But,
so.
I mean, that's the interesting thing about, campaign modes, though. Surely the campaign mode is in some way gated and designed to accommodate the fact that you are getting better as you play, and that's the whole point, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, as people have saying in the chat, is it more? This is more necessarily about exploration than efficiency, or this is a teaching tool, as Dave suggests. Maybe it's a way of helping you learn without that stress of every second is costing me money. But it's whether or not the campaign mode feels punishing enough that you would need a sandbox mode to learn in.
Yeah, I think that it's and I don't. I'm just saying this out loud. I'm not sure I believe it, but is that almost a? If you need this mode, does that mean you failed in the way you designed your campaign mode?
In a sense of how many people will expect the campaign mode to play, I could see that argument. I could. Like, people saying, like, well, why should I have to put a ton of stuff in time and effort into a campaign, into a free play mode before I even really get to grips with the campaign?
Yeah. But then, like, this is, for me, like, what I'm really enjoying is I want to see these new ships.
Sure.
And, like, I don't have time, like, my gaming time isn't as much as I'd like, you know?
Yeah.
So if I get to spend, if this is like, right, I get to experience this, like, why the hell would they stop me? Yes.
True. I mean this is by no means like a criticism, but how different do you feel this ship has been to the previous one?
Oh god. I like. It's a weird. That's a very weird question, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Like.
Raw material process.
Like, I feel like it's different. Like, I don't really know. Like, the other one, I was starting to get my kind of process down for that particular ship.
Right.
And so I'm kind of having to learn that all from the start. This is all processor.
So in that sense, it's ordering and your.
It's exploring
process
this.
that changes.
Yeah, and exploring this space. But also, like, my tools are much better. Like, which is maybe then I'm ruining my overall experience. It's a strange. I don't know.
Because
Like-
you don't have, like in this mode, for instance, you don't have a work order, do you?
No,
Like, there's nothing.
no.
So I'm trying to think, like, this is like, it seems like a free play. The free play mode potentially is. Is there a risk of thinking this is everything that's in the game? Just because
That's
you're in
yeah,
free play?
yes. I think
But
that's
it isn't,
that's
is
really
it?
the that's the kind of that's the thing we've been kind of almost like dancing around,
Yeah.
is that there is this issue of like people want to know what content a game has, and how do you define that content, and then, like, you know, because I could say, oh well, they're all the ships.
Yeah.
You know, I could you know, in an evening salvage every single ship, but presumably there are like variants of those ships which we've seen in the single player.
Right. Yeah. Yeah, you wouldn't want every ship available in the free play mode, would you? Like, I think that would.
I think
Even as a player, like when I saw that list of ships, I was like, I felt that moment of disappointment of, oh, that's all the ships. Like, I thought there would be more, or
Yeah.
that they would look different from each other, or.
But then I suppose, like, it's early access as well. We have...
Very true. Very true.
Oh, look at that! Right, so this is furnace.
Dave also points out, and it's a really good point, is that obviously content is context dependent. And I think that's what context is, what campaign modes really add that I lack in free play modes.
Deposit accepted.
Is that feeling of achievement of context of like, if I do something well here in a sandbox mode, it kind of doesn't really matter. Like, it doesn't there's no reward, there's no it is indeed early access Frozen, yeah.
So I'm guessing there's going to be more ships. Like,
that
and
would
they
make
could
sense.
just, like, they've done really well. Like, they've had a good launch in early access. They've done really well. They could add, you know, I'm sure they will just add ships until people get bored of them adding ships, you know.
So yeah, I mean, I will be fascinated to come back to this and see what kind of It's not just about ship designs, though, isn't it? In terms of, but in terms of like mechanics, what can you add that will come out of this ship that is different, say, to what you're doing right now?
Yeah, it's that's something I've been thinking about a lot. Like, is when we've had these conversations about making it home, right? Like, is there enough content? What is content even? What do we even mean by content?
How do you make it different from the content?
Yeah, and like, I think the more games we've been playing, the more we've kind of realized, holy poo, we've got loads of stuff in the game, really. Like, I don't know, like, I've been playing a lot of Red Alert, and, there's only so many units.
Yeah.
And, like, what is the number? Do you know what I mean? I don't know, like...
I do, and I also think that we are kind of... the worst judges of that, because like, we played a ton of the game and seen a ton of the content loads and loads over and over and over and over again, and like, content for us gets very old very quickly, whereas I think for other players, it who experience the game in the order in which it's supposed to be played, not in god mode, not in test modes and things like that, I think the content will stay fresh much longer.
Now
that's hard.
Let's have a look at this reactor here.
This is
like,
a big boy reactor, right?
Yeah, like, how the heck do I get this out? Right. So these allow me to override a thruster override to manually extract the thruster without utility key. May cause rupture.
That sounds good.
I don't know if I want to turn that. Like, let's see if we can. Yeah. Right, there are some points here. If I get rid of all these points and try and isolate the reactor, let's just do that and see what happens. Because I'm going to have to open that up, right? Because these are connected. Maybe I should make sure that there's space for it to get out. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, it's such a difficult one. Like, what? Oh God. Okay, right, okay. Like, what? Yeah. Like, how do you tell someone how much content there is in making a home right now?
Well,
like,
I mean, that whether or not we'll actually need to list stuff, I suppose, like that. Don't we? You've
we did write. We kind of wrote that on the access bit, didn't we?
So, like, how many
panels? But then, what does that even mean to someone who hasn't played the game?
Nothing. It just sounds like a number, doesn't it? It's like you saying there's 20 units in Red Alert, and you're like, well, okay, so I don't really know. You've got no context for that, but it sounds like 20 units.
Yeah, or it sounds like only 20.
Yeah, potentially.
Like, what? Right. What's going on here? I can hear things moving. Have we got?
But yeah, as for instance, like, marketing is about numbers. A lot of the time, it's like it's got X of this and Y of that, and hopefully you'll be excited by those numbers.
Yeah. I wonder if I take the fuel tanks out first. Oh, these there's actually points here. Look. Can I get to them from the outside? Where am I even? Where even am I anymore? Can I push this panel out?
Yeah, I mean, Dave says about tile synergies. That's obviously an important thing, and it's kind of hard in some ways to, in a kind of bullet point list to quickly get that across. But I suppose people these days understand the concept of synergy.
Yeah, you probably wouldn't necessarily say. What would you wouldn't necessarily use that word though, right?
No, you'd find a different way to basically imply that was what was going on. I mean, card games get away with it now. They just say thousands of cards, and they're like, oh, well, those cards, do things together. That's what a card game is.
Right, if I take these things off first. Yeah.
But, for us, it's hard, isn't it? Because even if you say panels, like, we've struggled with that nomenclature a lot of the time.
Even then, like, what do you call? I've said components on Steam because I figure that's.
Yeah, that makes sense.
kind of just want to get this reactor out. I'm not worrying about anything else. I suppose that's the other thing about this mode is I'm like...
You make your own.
Yeah, whoa, hello. Back you come.
What is... You might have covered this earlier and I've forgotten. What, you know, when you mouse over something and it's got those rows of squares...
That's like a health, I think.
Okay.
Like, I think that's to do with the health. I don't know. Like, I'm sure at some point that was explained to me in a tutorial, but... Oh.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Having just seen you laser that away, it maybe did big damage, I don't know.
Could try and... Well, if I throw these into the wall, do they... No. Right. So... Oh, there's still a couple of... Maybe if we get the nacelles off as well? Also, I love a game where I can use the word nacelle. Like... I remember spending ages, like, when I was writing my thesis, to trying to figure out, like, whether nacelle was actually a real thing that was on a plane.
Okay.
And it is. Right. Is that the last? Oh no. It's holding this thing in. This just so cool. Look at all these little points. Like the thought of like the thought that's gone into designing this in a way that makes sense.
That is hugely impressive. Do you think that's based on any existing engineering?
I don't know. Is that a point I can... Oh god, do I break that? That looks like a fuel.
That's laser precision, but yeah, that doesn't look great, does it?
Can this be pushed out now?
I am looking forward to it because my partner asks every time I finish streaming, "What did you play tonight?"
Yeah.
And I'm looking forward to explaining this game to
yeah.
her.
Do I pull this switch?
I mean, inevitably the answer to that is no, or invariably the answer to that is no.
Yeah.
And then the person pulls it anyway.
Yeah. No, I said I was going to remove the nacelles first. Let's stick to the plan. Stick to the plan. Right. So this is for the nacelle. But this is what this game... It's almost like a puzzle game, isn't it? Like...
Yeah. Someone said that in chat, I think it was Dave earlier, that it definitely is a puzzle game, right? Like that's at its core. If you were trying to explain this to someone, you'd probably end up having to say, look, it's a puzzle game, but instead of putting the puzzle together, you're taking it apart.
Yeah.
And that's therein lies the puzzle.
Yes. There's one of the nacelles gone. Now at least I can see. Can I get anywhere different? I have to push that button, aren't I?
Salvage secured.
That nacelle didn't do much. But at least I've got... Right, okay, if I get rid of this nacelle as well, I've at least got an escape route if everything goes. Are there any votes for whether or not I push the button?
I mean, our chat is going to hang you out to dry. There's absolutely no way they don't make you push this button.
Okay, right, that's...
Someone does ask, what does the button say?
The button says... Right, okay, oop, right. Let's get to the button.
It's got some of my favourite wording in the game so far, this button.
Right. Emergency thruster override used to manually extract the thruster without utility key. Warning may cause a rupture in the fuel line. So...
You weren't going to use a utility key anyway, were you? So
well, there could be a utility key somewhere. So I think, like, I probably have to do... I'm wondering if... Right, okay. Let's just... Are we ready?
Yeah. As Frozen points out, if it doesn't have a fuel line, can it rupture?
Well, it does. I think that...
Dave.
I think that...
Just cut the fuel line first.
Oh, okay.
I mean, cutting the fuel line sounds like a surefire
like
way for you
this...
to explode.
This, like, there's colours to these that... Like, there's different colours. Maybe there's something to do. There's this thing down here, right? That maybe I could... That looks like something I could burn.
It does.
Oh, I bet if I can get under there, that looks like there might be something. How do I get? Is this? How do I get this out? I need to get this out. What is this attached to? Oh, has it come out?
No, I think you were just flowing through it.
No, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. Right.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
So can I pull this out?
As Frozen says, we were seconds away from pushing that button. Well done, everyone. Well done. Okay, alright, so you got access to that now. That's good.
Oh shit! What's going on here? What's?
Looks like a ruptured fuel line to me. Kaboo!
Oh god! Out!
Oh dear! Wow, that escalated.
Okay, now I'm like just in the. I'm in. Oh, okay, I can't get out. I can't get out. Okay, how do I get? Oh dear! Right, come on! Oh no!
I think we're all both delighted and a little disappointed that it was just bashing a bit of metal that did you in.
Now where on earth am I? I think I need to have a look at what the damage is. Oh boy.
Material deposited.
Damage. Yeah, welcome to the stream. Assassin point out, you did pick a great time to join. Sean's just blowing things up.
I have just. There we go. This is Shipbreaker, and as you can see, we have broken a ship.
There are many ways to break a ship.
Yes. I think that is a good place to stop. Sorry if you have just joined.
Yes, you'll have to check the VOD.
Yeah.
But
so, yeah, that's good.
Yeah, you enjoyed this game?
I love this game. Like, this is the kind of, like, exactly as you said. Like, I'm gonna hang on. I need to go. We haven't even got to the cockpit, Dave. What does it look like in the cockpit?
Well, is that the one bit of ship that's still intact?
Probably. I'm just gonna keep fly around it as I talk about it. But like, I don't know. Like, I wonder sometimes these games though. Like a lot of these games. I love them, but I don't spend time playing them other than on stream, and that's why I've really enjoyed these streams. Is like it gives me a chance to play these games that I probably wouldn't otherwise.
Sure.
Like, but it totally up my alley. Like,
yeah.
But like, this seems like a good streaming game, and I don't know why. These games tend to be good streaming games, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Is it because I can chat? Like, we can just chat and like chill out.
That's one big factor, I think. For me on a good streaming game is yeah.
Yeah.
Is it too involving for chatting? Yes or no? But yeah, great to see it in early access. It's a really good example of a game that's clearly got enough game there to satisfy anyone who picks it up in early access and is keen to just take a look at it whilst it's still in development. And get like a good few hours easy out of this.
Oh right? Yeah, like I mean, we've been playing almost 2 hours just tonight. Like, and all we did was blow up a ship.
Yeah. So you could easily, I mean, you barely scratched the surface of the campaign mode.
Yeah,
really,
I just love, like, I love the detail. I don't know why. I've always, like those Star Wars, like those books you get that like show you like cutouts. Of this is actually this is the floor plan of the Death Star. Yeah. Like I love that stuff. I love this idea of internal design of stuff. I've always wanted to make a game where like all this stuff is modeled in some kind of combat like situation. Like
wow, okay.
Which is like
engineering plus combat is what you're saying.
Kind of, yeah, which I guess exists and like lots of people that's not really like I think a lot of people have that as a thought. It's the same. Like the closest thing is probably Sea of Thieves.
Okay.
Oh, danger. Oh, so you're saying about what's different? This has got internal pockets of pressurized.
Okay.
I think I kind of want to see what happens when I do this. Are we ready?
We're ready. Yeah.
Air pressure level decreasing.
Oh, that wasn't so bad.
Okay. Well, yeah, compared to your other explosions, that was pretty tame.
Yeah. So yeah, no, yeah.
So
Yeah.
there we go.
Yeah,
This
cool.
is, I was about to say Space Engineers. It's not Space Engineers.
No, it's not Space
Game Dave.
Engineers.
That's the game Dave
It
was
is.
talking about.
It's hard space, because space
Yeah.
is hard. Shipbreaker.
Shipbreaker.
If you just
Thank
search Shipbreaker game, that would be great. But yeah, thanks everyone for coming along. Thanks, Dave.
Where can people find us, Sean?
Head over to pillbug.zone and you can find everything you could possibly want to know about us, and hit all the nice happy internet buttons wherever you happen to be watching us. That would be really helpful for us.
Excellent. Our own game, Making It Home, is entering early access early August.
In 3 weeks, 6th
in
of
3
August.
weeks. Holy smoke, everyone.
Yeah.
So yeah, always be great if you check it out. Maybe pop it on your wish list to be notified when we do updates and when it becomes available. And that super helps any indie studio if you pop a game on your wish list. So
Yeah.
thank you very much. Thanks, Sean, for sharing the game with us.
Yeah, thanks. And now I realised that it's grabbing my mouse cursor, so I can't actually stop the stream. But I will now. Bye, everyone.